Hello and welcome to our podcast brought to you by Tallinn University Social Entrepreneurship Master's Program, where we spotlight inspiring stories of innovation and impact. I'm Katie, your host, and today we are diving into the journey of Eveline Vente, a graduate of the Social Entrepreneurship Master's Program, or SEMA, at Tallinn University. Eveline is founder of Yanantin Alpaca, a sustainable fashion brand creating beautifully handcrafted alpaca wool products while also empowering women in Peru. We'll talk to Eveline about her inspiring journey from falling in love with Latin America to building a brand that combines sustainability, fair wages, and empowerment. We'll also explore how her studies at SEMA equipped her with the tools to help it all happen. Hi, Eveline. Great to see you.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. Really great to be here.
Eveline, your journey to founding Yanantin Alpaca is fascinating. How did it all start? And when it all started, did you know already that you would become a social entrepreneur?
It's a very interesting story, and I definitely did not see coming where this was going to go to. So, in retrospect, it all makes sense. But it was a bit of a random journey, I must say. So, when I was 18, 19 years old, and I had to decide what to study at university, I obviously had no clue, apart from an insatiable hunger to learn about new cultures. I love to read, and I love to read books by Isabel Allende, for example. So when I had to decide what degree I was going to take, I decided to study Spanish language and culture. And it was a great choice. I really loved it. And I could use my studies to learn more about Latin America and the people and the history and all the magic. So after 3.5 years, I finished my bachelor's and I went to Peru for the very first time and I fell in love. Obviously, with the people. After going back to the Netherlands and starting my master's degree in Latin American and Caribbean studies, I had an excuse to go back again. And this time I went to Bolivia to do field work there. So during my time there, I met Nona, who ended up being my first knitter. And it was another beautiful experience in South America. So when I finished my degree, I ended up going to Peru again, and this time for good. So
Yeah.
I lived there for about 5 years in total, and I had a most amazing experience. I met so many beautiful people, but I also got to experience from really close what inequality is like and what it is like to be disempowered and to live in a world where you don't really have a lot of opportunities. So I decided to think what I could do to change that. And throughout all this time, I stayed in touch with Nona in La Paz, in Bolivia. So she really like integrated me as a part of her family, and it was a beautiful, beautiful connection we had there. So together we started to think. And Nona told me that she would love to have a flexible job that she could work in her own time while she was taking care of her grandson. So I decided, she told me that she loved to knit. So I decided to go there with a couple kilos of alpaca wool and just said, no, no, make something nice. And she ended up making a beautiful scarf. We're making several beautiful scarves. And that scarf is now one of our staple products of Yanantin. So that's how it started.
That's beautiful. Can you walk us through the production process at Yanantin Alpaca and how it exactly ensures the quality and sustainability and, of course, the impact?
Yeah, of course. So the quality really comes from Nona. She always says that she doesn't if she can't do it 110%, she won't do it. So she came up with like for example, the scarves have these beautiful crocheted borders. Like that's all her. So it's amazing how she is so detail oriented that she can ensure the quality of the products and make sure everything is perfect what she makes. When it comes to the wool, it was a bit of a journey, especially because I left Latin America and I had to change wool producers after I started. So it was a challenge, obviously, not being able to visit them or to see things from up close. So I ended up finding an amazing alpaca wool producer in Peru, and they are leaders in the alpaca industry. They do a lot of research on the quality of the fiber. They work with small to medium alpaca farmers, all local, all very empowering. They teach them how to shear the alpacas, how to give them the best nutrition, all to ensure that quality fiber. So I'm very, very happy with them. They have all the certifications and they're very transparent as well. And they have the most beautiful colors and an amazing collection of wool. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with that.
You pay your artisans a salary that's higher. You mentioned 9 times higher before that. You mentioned 9 times higher than the local minimum wage, which is incredible. What impact have you seen these have on their lives?
If you've ever been in a financially tight situation, if you've ever had to make ends meet, you know how disempowering it is to not to earn a minimum wage or to just not be financially independent. So this is a reality for a lot of people in South America. So my main goal was to make sure that I would move away from that minimum wage, because to me, minimum wage, it doesn't add up. It's a minimum legal requirement. It doesn't mean that it is fair or that it actually reflects the value of the people or the work of an individual. So when I started working with Nona, we always had a dialogue. Like, what do you think that you should earn? And what do you think you need? Like, I don't want her. A lot of people in South America, they work like 1.5 or 2 jobs because they simply can't get by on one, because that one job pays them the minimum wage. So I think transparency and an open dialogue and paying something that reflects the value of the people in the work that they do is incredibly important. And financial empowerment is really effective. It increases stability, it increases your independence, it improves your well-being, and it has a snowball effect. So Nona, like I said, she's taking care of her grandson. So if Nona has a better income, it means that she can pay for better schooling and for better healthcare. And that means that her grandson can go to a good school and get better education, and then probably get a better job, which means that he can provide better for his family in the future. So it has an amazing snowball effect that, yeah, to me, it's just magical. It's so beautiful to be able to do this. And it's the logical thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
Yes, it's clear to me that Yanantin Alpaca has a really profound impact on lives of their employees. Communicating this impact in general, or the impact of a social enterprise, can be sometimes really challenging. How do you ensure that people understand and appreciate the social and ethical values behind of Yanantin Alpaca?
I think there's a lot of power in just telling the story, and if the story is good, you can be very transparent about it, and you can share as many details as there are, because it will just resonate, and there's nothing to hide. So obviously, in this world of greenwashing, it's very hard to stand out, because there's flashy headlines everywhere. So how do you know? How do you differentiate yourself? But like I said, if your story is good and if you truly stand behind what you do, then you can be transparent and you can just share everything there is to share. And I think that's the power. And on the other hand, I also think that there is a bit of responsibility for the consumer to look a little beyond those headlines, like do the research. What is available on the website? Because if it's not available, if you can't find the information about wages or about where the products are sourced from, that to me is a bit of a red flag. If the information is good, if it's trustworthy, if it's reliable, then you should be able to find it. So if you look at Yanantin's website, you will find all the information there that you need. And if you can't find it, reach out, like send an email, and I'll let you know what answers you might be looking for.
Since we touched the topic of communications, I wanted to ask what strategies, meaning the communication strategies, have worked for you, for Yanantin Alpaca, in spreading the word about your social enterprise and attracting customers who align with your values of sustainable fashion, etc.
Yeah, one strategy that has worked really well is blogging and YouTube. So if you look up Yanantin Alpaca, you'll find an amazing collection of blogs with information about alpaca fiber and about Peru, how to take care of your alpaca woolen products. And that generates quite a lot of traffic, actually, that organically now reaches my website. And when they reach the website, they'll click through to the web shop. Similarly, for YouTube, there is a lot of videos available that I made, and that has worked really, really well. Additionally, what I notice works best is when I get the chance to really tell the story. So markets, especially around Christmas, and concept stores or just stores where they sell similar products, high quality, sustainable, fair trade. Because then people are interested in the story and they can hear it and they can feel it, especially when they can feel the products as well. I've seen so many people who would touch one of the products or put on a hat or put the scarf around them and they just wouldn't take it off because they loved how it felt. And it's that combination of like really, yeah, really hearing the story and hearing it for me, and then it really connects because it's a great story. So when people hear it, they'll fall in love with it, and then they fall in love with the products on top of that because alpaca wool is just so comfortable.
Yeah. As a social entrepreneur who already has her social enterprise that is up and working and making impact and making income and generating income, what are the three most important things future social entrepreneurs should focus on? What would be your advice?
Yeah, I love this question because if you look at the world around us, I don't think anyone needs a reminder that this is a really good time to make some positive impact. So if you're a social entrepreneur or you're an inspiring social entrepreneur, first thing I would say is go beyond your passion. Let the passion spark your interest and let it spark, getting you started. But then after that, you can't rely on it anymore because it's an emotion, and emotions come and go. So what you really need is consistency, routine, system, structure, so that you can keep working at it and really make that progress long term and impact. The second the second thing I would say is to go beyond your inner circle. So obviously your closest friends and family, they're going to be the first ones to hear about what you're doing, and um, obviously they're going to be your biggest fans, but eventually what you really need is a circle of like-minded individuals who really support your ideas and support your values and who are going to be there for you when things get challenging, or um, also who are going to be there for you when you really need feedback or when you really need to um, see if your concept works. So go beyond your inner circle. Don't be afraid to go out there and ask for that feedback and ask for like the real experience. Lastly, I would say the most important thing perhaps is to stay true to your values. The beauty of social entrepreneurship is that there are no rules. Nothing is set in stone, and it is up to you to decide, that you want impact to be the most important driver, or that you want to pay this type of salary, or do you want to provide these types of benefits. Like it's your call, and you are the one to design the rules, and that is beautiful and terrifying at the same time. But if you really, really stick to your values, when times get hard, you're going to be able to use that as an anchor to keep you moving forward. So I hope these three pieces of advice um, will make beautiful things happen.
I think so too. I absolutely agree that going beyond the passion and especially looking beyond your bubble, your inner circle might be one of the most important things, because first you really need to notice those also societal problems that are out there and then act on it. I wanted to also ask, what's next for Yanantin Alpaca? Do you have any existing plans or goals for the future? What's gonna come next?
Yes, this is only the beginning, and there's a lot of things going to happen moving forward. So my dream is to open a workshop in Peru where the knitters can come together and they have a safe space to talk to each other, to share their stories, but also to receive trainings and to inspire each other, to get basically any support that they might need, whether that is daycare or psychological support. So that is the dream, and I'm really hoping I can do that soon. So the first step will be to launch a crowdfunding and then to look for investment to make this dream become a realization. So keep an eye out on the website for the crowdfunding that will be coming soon.
We're gonna link the website below, and if potential investors are watching us right now, they really need to take notes on Yanantin Alpaca.
Yes.
Looking back, what drew you to the Social Entrepreneurship's master's program at Tallinn University, and how did it align with the goals of your social enterprise?
Yeah, so when I found the program, I had already been working on Yanantin for a couple of years. So I felt that I really lacked the structure and the consistency and the systems to really bring Yanantin to the next level. So that was my biggest goal. And it absolutely did. It absolutely met that. It met those needs. So some of the really cool things that I did at the university, like I got to write an impact report that is now live on the website. I got to make a brand video with a group of students from BFM. I have a style guide made for me as well as part of another project, a tactical marketing plan, the business model canvas. So it was really that in-depth, thorough research and then all the tools, and I have such a good toolkit now to bring Yanantin to the next level. So it was absolutely worth it.
Social Entrepreneurship Master's Program has interdisciplinary approach and is known for its interdisciplinary approach. How does that help you to build your social enterprise, Yanantin Alpaca?
It was a beautiful combination. Obviously, having lived in Latin America, I knew the inequalities and I knew what was wrong systematically. But then again, going back to university and studying it and researching it thoroughly just brought so much more insights. And then combining that with a very practical approach, it was so valuable, combining what I learned and then, like I said, the interaction with the students who were studying film. It was a beautiful combination that really provided the diverse perspectives and the different insights, and then just beautifully integrated all of that together.
Lastly, how can our listeners or viewers support Yanantin Alpaca and learn more about your work? You already partly mentioned you have a website, but other than website, is there any way that they can find you?
Yeah, we're on all the social media as well. So follow us, like us, make sure you bookmark us somewhere where you can keep an eye out. And then I would definitely encourage you to follow that crowdfunding once it goes live. I am currently located in Estonia, so I'll be doing hopefully some markets here as well, where you can see and touch and feel the products, hear the story live. If you really want to help us out, share the story, like share the website with your friends, with your circle. The more we talk about, the different way of doing business, of creating products, I think the more impact we will have. It's not just Yanantin. There's a ton of beautiful brands out there who make fair trade, organic, sustainable products, and we should all spread the word.
That's true. That's very true. Spreading the word helps spreading the impact too, and that's a really beautiful thing. Thank you, Eveline, for sharing your incredible journey with us. It's been really inspiring listening to your story. Your work with Yanantin Alpaca really beautifully illustrates how social entrepreneurships can create a really tangible impact and also a really meaningful change. And to our listeners, we hope Evelyn's story has inspired you as much as it has inspired us. If you would like to learn more about her work, visit the website and social media pages we're gonna link below. And remember that every purchase supports fair wages and women empowerment in Peru. And if you are interested in shaping the future like Evelyn, check out the Social Entrepreneurships Master's Program at Tallinn University. It is your chance to turn your passion into action and make a real difference in the world. And many thanks for tuning in. And until next time, bye bye.
Thanks so much for having me, Katie.